You're watching Buzz with Jess Lujan.
Hey, good evening, Guam. I'm Jess Lujan. Welcome to our premiere showing of The Buzz right here on Channel 8. And my guest tonight, of course, we've built that up all morning and yesterday as well. And talk about buzz. The guy sitting next to me is stirring up quite a buzz here on our island. None other than Dr. Friedman. Hey, thank you for joining me this evening.
Thank you.
Premiere showing of a live show. If you want to get on and talk to Dr. Friedman, you give us a call at 632-TALK, 632-8255, and state your question, and Dr. Friedman will answer that, or what your statement or your question. Dr. Friedman, again, thank you again for joining me on the premiere showing and this live showing. Boy, you had things buzzing here. The final vote on trying to get Dr. Friedman in the Guam Board of Medical Examiners was 14-0 with one absent. I couldn't believe that. For the life of me, I could not believe that everyone was totally against your appointment to this board. Quite a few of them had sought your services, not necessarily for themselves, but maybe for relatives or even parents. I guess you're a good enough doctor, but supposedly you're not good enough to sit on the board because you raise questions that a lot of my callers in the morning call and have told stories in the first person. Doc, please.
Well, as I said before, lines 14, Christian 0. But all I can say is that the senators voted for the status quo. And if they're happy with what goes on in the medical care on Guam, if they're happy that their wives, daughters, sons are going to die in a needless, stupid event, lose a limb or something of this line, that's fine. The unfortunate thing is that most of them go off island when they're sick. And
now, quite a few of the senators, well, not quite a few, I guess all of them had concerns of statements that you said and a word that you chose in the midst of your confirmation hearing, in the sense that patients are dying, they're being killed at GMH. You have since recanted the choice of words. That I could have had a better choice of words, but people who call up, I mean, you are saying things, and you're an insider. You're saying things that people know about, telling in their own first-person story. You're just an insider saying, "Hey, look, you know, you're a whistleblower, pretty much, and you're a messenger." And at this time, I mean, the target, you know, the bullseye, was right at Dr. Friedman. They shot the messenger.
well, if you drive a car and you hit someone and kill them, you've killed the person. You didn't mean to. You tried not to, but the person's dead. Call it what you want.
You know, headline stories in the news today: contract to the hospital, neurosurgeon. A couple years back, there was, I guess, 6 patients that were seen. Last year, there was 1 patient that was seen to the tune
surgery.
One surgery. $400,000. I mean,
$411,000.
$411,000 to be precise. That's a lot of money. And you know, just a couple months ago, shortly after the accreditation, there was a shortage of epidural, Demerol. I mean, the galley, I think, closed down for a little bit because there were no forks and spoons. $400,000? $411,000? Doc, make some sense of this.
You want me to make sense of it? I can't, because I don't make sense of anything that goes on here.
You've made some allegations, and you wanted to shed some light on things that are going on in the hospital. And you know, we said this in our radio show that hey, if these allegations are true, wow, we got to clean up the hospital. And if it's not, these are serious enough allegations to conduct an independent review or investigation on what the heck is going on over there. These are lives. These are not just maybe students that are cheating on a test. Even that needs a review and an investigation. But people's lives are at risk. Doc.
You're preaching to the choir, I'm afraid. This is what I've been saying. And I don't know if the people here, including the Senate, live on the dark side of the moon, or whether they walk around with their eyes closed. But to anyone who has been off Guam in the last 30 years and seen the way medicine is carried out in the rest of the world, and I'm not limiting this to the States at all, but in the Western world, I think they'd be shocked.
You know, we had a caller that said basically that, of course, not just the callers, but a lot of people know this basically, that have reservations, and if they can, if they had the money, they would get on that plane and seek medical attention elsewhere. You ask a lot of people that. The ones that are not able to are going to GMH.
The ones that are the ones that can are voting for the others to stay here and put up with what is going on.
Now, a couple senators, Senator Chris Duenas stood up and said, Dr. Friedman, how dare you, pretty much, and I'm paraphrasing this. He says, 4 years of hard work to get the hospital accredited. The statements that you made that night of your confirmation hearing flushed everything down the toilet. I didn't believe that for a second. You're not a drug supplier, are you? I mean, a medical drug supplier. You're not a supplier of equipment for the hospital as well. I don't think it was Dr. Friedman that held up these products from coming into the hospital. So why is it that they said, from what you said, the allegations put out there, that you had flushed the accreditation process that happened over the years, you flushed it down the toilet that night?
Well, Jesse, when you're a fool, you can say anything. And I think when a few of these senators got up to talk, the temperature in that room went up quite a bit because of all the hot air that was coming out. There wasn't a word that any one of them said that had a grain of truth to it.
Did you have your waders on as well?
A shovel.
A shovel. Anyway, hey, more with Dr. Friedman when we return. Stay tuned.